Hey guys, it's Mikey Chen. Growing up in the Midwest, I loved camping. Well, also because there's not much to do there. I've literally said the words, hey, you guys want to go hang out at Walmart on a Friday night? Anyway, there are a few things that must happen when you camp. You gotta build a fire, you gotta roast some marshmallows, and you gotta tell scary stories. Since Halloween is right around the corner, so to prepare you for your next reign as Super Scary Story Champion, here are some of the creepiest urban legends from around the world. Now, I love urban legends because they are often thrilling stories which contain many folkloric elements, and they all seem like they could possibly be true. So even though they're called urban legends, I like to think that there is some truth to every story. And since I about wet myself reading the stories that I put into this video is a bit spooky, so you should take some precautions before watching it, like check your closets, check under the bed, keep the light on, and maybe prepare an episode of Friends to watch after this as an anti-fear chaser of sorts. And I personally recommend the episode with the nap partners. All right, guys, here we go. Number 1, sesame seeds. This story takes place in Korea, where a girl was worried that her skin was getting old and wrinkled. This girl was the type of person that would basically try every method there is to make her skin better. When she was out shopping, she heard from a friend that if you put some sesame seeds in the water of your bath, it would be good for your skin. So this girl went home and tried this method right away. But after a few hours in the bathtub, she would still not come out of the bathroom. She'd only say, just a moment, when someone tried to enter. Her mother got suspicious and forced open the bathroom door, which was locked. Then she saw a horrific sight. Countless sesame seeds had attached themselves between every small wrinkle and every pore of the girl's skin and had started to grow roots. The girl seemed like she had lost her mind and was frantically trying to remove the seeds with a toothpick, but only succeeded in scarring her skin further. Number 2, Tek-Tek. Tek-Tek is the ghost of a Japanese schoolgirl who roams the train stations of Japan. In life, this girl was beautiful, but she was extremely jumpy and people would always play practical jokes on her. One day at the train station after school, her friends decided to put a bug on her shoulder. She was so startled, she fell off the platform and was hit by a train and her body was split in half. Now she is haunting the train stations of Japan, dragging herself with her elbows and sometimes her hands. She is known to kill people with her scythe and split people in half to make her victims feel her own pain. Her name is Tek-Tek because as she is clawing around, her elbow makes a tek-tek sound. This legend also includes the story of a boy that encountered Tek-Tek at his school. One day as a boy left his school very late, he saw a beautiful girl just standing in the window. But he felt this was very strange as he wondered why a beautiful girl was just standing in the window, especially since she was inside a boys-only building. Then the girl heaved herself out of the window, revealing that she had no legs. The boy froze in fear and was instantly cut in half. Number 3, the woman in gray. You know, there's nothing happier in life than the sounds of kids laughing, unless of course it's the middle of the night and you have no kids. There's just something about kids laughing or crying that makes any spooky situation that much worse. So I don't think I would have done what these guys did in this next story. Anyway, this urban legend takes place in the Midwest. 2 young men were working in a small shop when they noticed that a petite woman in a gray dress walked in and headed towards the dairy products. She took a bottle of milk and walked straight out of the store without paying. The workers rushed out after her, but she was nowhere to be found. The woman soon came to the store again. She once again headed directly towards the dairy products, took a bottle of milk, and again left without paying. When it happened the 3rd time, the men were ready and managed to follow her through the main streets of the little town and saw that she turned onto a dirt road. That's when they lost her. The pair explored a bit further and came across a cemetery they'd never seen before. See, this is where I would have promptly peed my pants and ran away, but they followed the sound to a freshly dug grave. They then found some shovels and dug up the coffin. When they opened the lid, they found the recently dead body of the woman in gray, and in her arms was a crying baby. Alongside them were 3 empty milk bottles. Number 4, Cowhead. The next urban legend is so scary that nobody even knows what the story is. According to legend, a short story about Cowhead was discovered in Japan in the 17th century. Several documented references to the story was found, but they only mentioned the title and the fact that this story was way too horrific to tell. The story was apparently so terrifying that anyone who read it will tremble violently for days until they die of fright. The story was deemed so dangerous that most copies of it was destroyed and the few existing copies were cut into sections. Today, it is believed that only fragments of the original story remains. One rumor tells of an elementary school teacher who was taking his class on a field trip. For some reason, he wanted to entertain the kids with ghost stories and said he was going to tell the forbidden tale of Cowhead. After only one sentence, the kids began screaming and begged the teacher not to tell them anymore. But the teacher looked as if he had entered some sort of a trance and would not or could not stop telling the story. After an hour later, the teacher regained his consciousness and saw that the bus had crashed into a ditch. All the kids had fainted and were foaming at the mouth. The bus driver was slumped over the wheel and was shaking uncontrollably. To this day, no one knows what ended up happening to the teacher and the kids. And here's the crazy thing. I just told everyone about some insane cursed story that was probably made up by the Japanese crypt keeper, and anyone who hears it will be so scared they eventually die of fright. But you know what? I bet there's a bunch of you who are Googling the full version of the story right now. So let me know in the comments if you went and tried to search for this story online, and let me know if you found it. But come on, people, have we learned nothing from horror movies? You never split up, you never trust kids and their creepy imaginary friends, and you never read anything when warned not to. Number 5, the midnight bus. In Beijing, a young man was waiting at a bus stop trying to get home. Because it was so late, the streets were basically empty. The only other person at the bus stop with him was an old man. The midnight bus arrived and they both boarded. There were no other passengers with them. After a while, the bus stopped and 2 new passengers got on and sat behind the driver. A few minutes later, the old man suddenly started yelling at the young man, accusing him of stealing his wallet. The young man was angry at being accused, and the argument became so heated that the old man forced him to settle their arguments at the nearest police station. The young man reluctantly agreed and they both got off the bus. As soon as the bus sped away, the old man was no longer angry and looked relieved. When the young man asked what was going on, the old man said, "I just saved our lives." The young man was confused, so the old man told him, "Did you see the 2 passengers?" To which the young man replied, "Yeah, so what?" The old man then said, "Unlike you, I took a closer look. They have no feet. They were just floating on air. Those 2 were not human." The next day, the news was all about the midnight bus and how it had gone missing along with its driver. When the police finally found the bus, inside it was the badly decomposed body of the driver. And when they checked the gas tank, they found blood instead of fuel. Number 6, the White Death. This story is pretty scary. It's about a little girl in Scotland who hated life so much that she wanted to destroy every last trace of herself. One day, this little girl killed herself, and just days after her family found out what she had done, every member of her family were killed with their limbs torn apart. The legend says that when you learn about the White Death, the girl's ghost might come and find you. She will first knock on your door. She knocks once for your skin, which she will use to patch your decaying flesh. Twice for your hair, which she will gnaw between her teeth. 3 times for your bones, which she will fashion into clubs. 4 times for your heart, which she will tear from your chest. 5 times for your teeth, which she will keep in a box. 6 times for your eyes, which she will pluck out one by one. And 7 times for your soul, which she will swallow whole. Each knock gets louder till you open the door and she kills you for fear that you'll tell someone else of her existence. No matter where you go, the White Death will track you down. And if you tell anyone of her existence, she will kill you and then begin following the person you told. Oh, I kind of just realized what I did here. What if that story was real and now I just told all of you guys about her existence? Well, you know, don't go answering any random knocks at the door. I mean, that's pretty good advice anyways, right? Okay, that's just terrifying. I'm gonna go see who that is, and if you guys don't hear from me, you know what happened and keep your doors locked